Hello and welcome to the LoreWars podcast and preview stream. My name is Doug Carlson. I am your host and game master, and I am joined by someone new to the show, Kurt Stevens. How we doing?
I'm great. Just enjoying another lovely night over here.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Um,
Gaming in.
so I'm bringing Kurt onto the show because we are in the midst of doing a little but not staff. What's a cast switch up? Um, And so yeah, Kurt's gonna be a new player in the show, and hopefully we'll be picking that up next week again. I know it's been quite a while since we've streamed, probably a good couple weeks. With everything happening in the world, it's been insane. I personally picked up a new job that has been consuming like 60 plus hours of my life, and I know Kurt here has been doing the same with his job.
Yeah,
And
and we play 2 D&D sessions a week, so
right, right.
a lot of, and now we're trying to do some Call of Cthulhu, and
Hell
I'm
yeah.
interested in your role playing system, LoreWars, and I'm really excited to try out what I seem to see as a healer class in this cool
Yeah.
RPG.
Hell yeah. So you and I play a little side lore wars we were getting into, which hopefully we can pick up on that once in a while as well. So that is him and I are play testing with his fiance. You guys are
Yeah,
engaged? Okay. Fiance and roommate, right? Roommate?
yeah. Yep.
Um, so we're playtesting the second campaign right now, which is like right in the midst of being finished. While Ring of Worlds is finishing up too. So you're going to be joining the first campaign, which is a prequel to that. Um,
Oh, cool.
yeah, it
Exciting.
happens
More
a
about that.
yeah, it happens a little bit behind before that. Um, and yeah, let's dive into it, and we'll do some updates and stuff at the end. We'll just get right into the content. So this is going to be a session 0, which we haven't done on the show yet. So we're going to pretty much create a character here with Kurt, and show everybody how that's kind of done. So, what page are we on here? If you, on page 5 of the guidebook, you can see we have a mock-up of a character sheet that you can kind of follow along with. Now, this character sheet is free to download on the website, and so you can download that. You can use it. You can print it. You can use a PDF form maker and fill it out or whatever you want to do. But yeah,
I got that paper
what's that?
printed website.
Oh
I
yeah,
got the paper printed right off the website. I'm OG like that. Love the paper.
I do enjoy paper. When we were playing like in person, I had just so many notebooks and stuff filled.
Yeah, I love that part of it.
Right. um. So yeah, we can start here. Do you have a race picked out already?
Yeah, I was gonna go with the Reverent race,
Oh yeah.
which I believe is on page. I also have a book in front of me, so this will be quite easy for me. 41.
41. I am currently using a PDF just so people can see. There we go, Reverend. All right. So, for the Reverend, let me pull back up my character sheet here. So you can throw Reverent in race, which, if you're following the guidebook, will be in section A, top of the page. It says race, and you can throw Reverent right there. You can throw your gender if you want into the top right next to that, if you want to specify that. Totally up to you. If you have, do you have a name picked out already?
Yes, I have Morton, or Mort for short.
I like it.
Um,
You can, so yeah, you can throw Morton up in the name section. And then we can go over, so let's touch our HP real quick. So if we look at this race page right here, is base health 125, so you can write that in the race, or I'm sorry, the total HP for now.
yeah, and the
And
heart rate.
yeah, and that little heart in section B.
That's where I keep going.
And then we can talk about your base class. So I keep grabbing the wrong tab, there we go. So if we go down here a little bit, your base class, you can be a siphonist or a priest. Now you said healer, so I'm assuming you're going with the priest.
Yeah, I really like that ability. It seems like there's not a lot of healing abilities in this game, and I like to
Right,
bring that
for sure.
to this.
So you,
And then I'm gonna be a priest of Valroy. Valray.
yeah. So write priest in base class, and then in so yeah, in religion, since you already know that, you can write Valray under religion, and we'll go over that in a little bit.
Yeah, that's something really cool about this RPG is that you can immediately atone to a race and get buffs from it immediately.
Right,
So
and
I really like.
there's kind of a tier system with that where you can like kind of level up with your I don't know what you want to call it, worship or divinity, and earn bonuses that way. So we're gonna also touch some other things. So your diplomacy, your mental health, and your mental fortitude, and your bravery bonus at the bottom right in H1. Um, it's in your stat block. With reflex, speed, will, vision, height. That block at the bottom. We're gonna fill those out while we're on this race page, which are right there. Bravery is a +0, so you can put +0 to next to the bravery bonus. +0 to diplomacy, and a mental fortitude is a +2.
Yes, sir.
And then you can decide your height. You can write that in as well since we're here. They tend to be between 5 and 7 feet.
Yeah, they're humanoid or humanish, or they were human at one point.
Right, yeah. So these creatures are pretty much resurrected humans for one reason or another. Um, some by deity, others by dark magic. However, you want to go about it, they have been brought back to life for one reason or another. And some cling to the more religious end of that, and others kind of feed on the darkness of it, which is kind of the weird split that you have between siphonism and priesthood.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
so yeah, you can pick a height between 5 and 7 feet. You can also pick a weight between 150 and 200 pounds.
I went with my slim figure of 100 pounds, 5, probably 10 and a half extra medium.
All right, and then under priest, your weapon of choice will be a crucifix. Um, so what I
And now,
like to,
Doug, is spellcasting
what's that?
implement? Is that like a spellcasting implement as well as like a magic weapon?
Yeah. So when you're basic attacking people, you'll be like shooting just kind of magic out of it as like a conduit. And then when you cast like spells, you can also use it as a conduit. But there'll be two different actions that you'll see. But
Okay.
so level one, um, in the level one box, I would write basic attack and maybe like crucifix in exclamation or in parentheses, just so you know what you're using. And we'll
Yeah, I
go,
just wrote crucifix in the on the one column, and then my damages I use.
yeah, which we'll hit in a minute. And I think that's everything we can do on this page here for the for the Reverent, the first Reverent page. So our characters, I believe, in the uh, Ring of Worlds campaign are level 9, so I'm going to bring you in as a level 8. So we can go right down priest here. So for level 2, you get Smooth Talk, which is a +1 to negotiation. And then you can throw that. So you can throw that in the level 2, right, or the left one I'd write Smooth Talk, and the right one I would write +1 to negotiate. And then down in your actions, I would put a +1 next to negotiate in the bonus box. All right, and then level 3 is Mental Fortitude, is the name of the passive, and it is a +1 to will, which we will hit your will in a minute, but that'll be up in your stats block. But if you want to put a little +1 temporarily to that till we get to that page.
Will do.
Level 4 is a minor action, so you could write a minor if you want, and it is a Healing Touch. 25 HP, and it has a casting roll of 1 to 10. Level 5 is Revive. You can revive a player with half of their health if they go into death saving. This is a major action and can have a casting roll of 1 to 10.
Ooh, and this is the one I really want to talk about.
Level 6. You can
Yes,
you
Holy
can
Blooded.
Holy Blooded. All right, so that's going to be your subclass. You can write that in as level 6.
I'm a good boy.
You're a good boy.
And then, yeah, even more interested in 7, which is Stronger Faith.
Yeah, you
Strength and religious bonus decided by GM. So, what you got for me, Doug?
Yeah, I will. So we'll hit that up because we're not. I'm not at the religious page yet, the religion page, but write that in, and I will touch on that. So just write stronger faith in the left box and leave the right box empty until we get there. All right, level 8 is a major action, Holy Light Circle. Weaken enemies within 5 spaces around you. If they are evil, they take an extra 2 times damage when attacked.
Nice.
And then level 9 is a major action. Holy Pillar. Send a blast of holy energy onto an enemy. If they are evil, it does 4 times damage. Base damage, I should mention. And casting roll is 1 to 10 for that.
I'm just going up to level 8, though, right, Doug?
Oh, yes, you're right. Yeah. Forget that 9. Alright, then. So now you have the abilities up to 8. I'm going to scroll down to past the races. Where we can continue your character building here. One more race to go. There we go. Alright, so we can pick a background for you. Do you know what background you'd like?
Yeah, I think I. Where do you write that? I think I wrote that. Somewhere.
Background is in your stat block.
Yeah, I'm a civilian. I
Okay.
have +10 on selling items to local merchants, +10% on selling items
Yeah,
to local merchants.
plus 10 HP, plus 10% gold on selling items. Very cool. So you can write civilian and write that bonus in somewhere if you want to put it in your notes or something.
Yeah.
Then we can go over some basic statistics. So you can roll a 20-sided die to discover your bravery.
Got my die hard die here.
Hell yeah.
Roll it up. 16.
And you would add your bravery bonus, but you have a +0, so you can just write 16 under your bravery.
All right.
Next is your speed. Go ahead and roll a 20-sided die.
14.
So your speed would be 4. Next is your height and weight, which you already found. Next is your vision. So go ahead and roll a 20-sided die for your vision.
Ooh, a nice 3.
So your vision is poor.
I did much better the first time I did this.
Next is your will. So go ahead and roll a 20-sided die for your will.
Oh, another 3.
And you can add your mental fortitude, which is a mental fortitude. So that's a +2. So your will be 5. All right.
Right.
Next, you can roll your incline.
Ooh, 18, baby.
So you have a natural incline to investigation. So you write investigation next to your incline in your stat block, and then put a plus. I believe I said what did I say 2 plus. Oh no, +1 to investigate in the actions on the bottom right of your character sheet
All right.
down here.
Done.
All right, and finally, your diplomacy will be added to your negotiation action, which you have a +0 to diplomacy, so that won't affect anything. Oh, we did not grab your racial bonus. Now that I'm thinking about it, let me scroll back up to your race page just to demonstrate.
Increase the of your background at the game master's discretion.
What was that? Increase the effect of your background?
Yes. So, if you want me to, I can tell you a little bit about Mort McVita. He is a
Sure.
family that died while he was just trying to plow the fields one day to provide money for his family.
Okay.
So, an unfortunate end. And now that he's alive, he just works the fields every day, and he just wants to provide for your family, my family.
Yeah, for sure. So for your civilian thing, you get a +10 HP, +10% gold to selling items. So I'm going to
Yeah.
increase that to a +20 HP and 20% selling items.
Oh, nice. A benevolent.
Now you can re-roll one of your basic statistics if you would like.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably re-roll my speed.
All right, go ahead and re-roll that.
That's a 6, not much better.
All right, so move it up to a 6.
From a 4, I'll
Yep.
take it.
All right, now for your armor, you get to pick heavy, medium, light, or cloth.
I was gonna go medium.
All right, so reduce your speed by 2 and increase your HP by 30.
Okay, nice.
Now you don't have a shield or an elixir, so those don't matter. Now we're at the part where we will talk about your crucifix, which is located in the other Arcana weapon. So your stat block is a 1 to 3 is a miss, 4 to 10 is a normal, 11 to 15 times 2, and a 16 to 30 is a times 3, which you'd write in level 1, the right box over.
What page can find that at?
That is on 83. You also get a enchantment because it is an arcana weapon. So you can pick one of the elements for enchanting below that: fire, earth, water, wind, lightning, ice, holy, evil, and cosmic.
I do the earth. I'm gonna keep up with the healing.
Yeah. So in other spells, which I'll throw on the stream here, which is on page 2 of your character sheet, spells and martial arts, write
Uh huh.
earth spell in one of the left boxes.
Yep.
In the right box, I would write minor 1 to 10, casting roll, which I abbreviate to like 1 to 10 C, and then plus 10 HP. So this is
Yep.
a minor spell you can cast at any given time to give somebody 10 HP.
Nice.
Alrighty, and now we are on to religions. So you picked the Valkyrie, the god of war and light.
Yep.
So your bonus is a times 2 damage when at half health or lower. So you can write that at the religion bonus,
Okay.
which is in your stat block. Now, in notes or maybe spells and martial arts, wherever you want to, being a priest, you have priesthood of Valray, so you can you get the priesthood bonus, which is once per scenario you can full heal.
Full heal once per scenario.
Yes, sir. Which I abbreviate that on my character sheets as one, the numeral one, PS. As
All
kind of
right.
as how I abbreviate it when I'm allowed to play a character player once in a while.
The DM's bane.
Right.
I understand that. For the first like 2 years of me playing role playing games, I never played.
Well, yeah, it's so hard, especially with
I,
LoreWars. Like,
yeah.
I've played D&D and I've played Cthulhu with people as a PC, but it's so hard as in LoreWars because like I created the system, so it's hard for people to get super familiar enough to run it. You know,
One day, Doug, we're
one
gonna have to.
day. So your what something gave you an increased religion bonus. What was that? Your
I am holy blooded, and
correct. It
I
was level 7, right?
yes, sir. Oh, that's the buff you gave me.
So for level 7, I am going to say, um, I don't want to make this too overpowered. Okay, for level 7, I'm going to say you can write in the right hand box, bless, and once per scenario, you can full heal another person as well. Now, the stipulation on this is that you have to do both at the same time.
Like I have to heal the
So
whole part.
no. So your priesthood is once per scenario you get to full heal. When you do that, you can also full heal an ally
Oh, so the priesthood of Valray allows me to full heal, and the bless allows me to full heal someone else. Okay.
at the same time though.
Okay.
All right. So when you full heal, you just pick another PC and they get full healed as well.
I'm sure this party's gonna love me because I've listened to some of this. I've listened to like I think the first 7 or 8 episodes, and there's not a lot of heals for
No,
the.
yeah.
And they lay out a lot of damage. And
Oh,
I don't know.
so that is it for character creation as of right now. Now we are going to buff your character a little bit and talk about how you're going to fit into the story. So right now our characters find themselves in a goblin den. They are chasing after a the general of the Wolf Knights who has supposedly betrayed the queen. And
Oh, the War Knights. Okay, yes, I am familiar.
okay, so the general supposedly betrayed the queen, ran away with an artifact, and ran to a goblin den. The player characters have chased him down. He just jumped through a portal before summoning a giant metal wolf creature, and the player characters are fighting this wolf and trying to get into the portal before it closes. You can are going to show up somehow some way, and you and I can kind of hash that out of how you want to do that. Do you want to be associated with the Wolf Knights at all, or do you want to be an outsider kind of wandering in?
Hmm. Uh, should I roll for it, Doug?
I mean, that's up to you. If you want to randomize it, we can make
I have
you.
no attachment in any particular way, and I love role playing games for this fact. So, yeah, do you want it to be high over 10 or yeah,
Yeah,
10 and
let's do evens. You will be a scout for the Wolf Knights that show up to help, or odds you're going to be a wandering stranger who just kind of shows up because you heard, or like because you're I don't know, maybe these goblins are the ones that killed you and your like when you were out in the fields and you finally hunted them down.
all right, it's an even number, Doug.
What I don't even was the Wolf Knights.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a scout with the Wolf Knights. Um, you were tasked with overseeing the battle and reporting back to the queen, but you notice that things are kind of getting out of hand. So you're gonna jump into the battle and help them.
Cast by the queen. Sorry, I want
No, no, you're
to.
fine. You were just a scout, so you were tasked to oversee them. And if things got out, like you're taking it upon yourself to jump in because you see like in the current fight, two of them are fighting the big metal wolf creature, and one is like surrounded by hyenas. And so you see like, and you see the portals closing, so you jump in to help. Now, because you're a wolf knight, you're gonna get some perks. So let's talk about those. Go to your spells and martial arts section of your sheet and roll me a 20-sided die.
Okay. Ooh, not didn't land even. Ooh, 15.
15. So that's right in the middle. So we're gonna give you, I believe I don't. I'd have to look it up exactly what one it is, but or like what's the name of it. But I'm going to give you Wolf Hide is the name of the spell. It is a minor. It's a 1 to 10 casting roll, and I believe, well, I'll say for you, it gives you 15 defense for your next 2 turns. This is something that every Wolf Knight gets. You've listened to the show. You've probably gotten to that episode, I think. But you got tattooed by Madame Ghostfang. You have a wolf crest on your body somewhere. When you activate it, it comes out and kind of a spiritual wolf like head kind of forms around you. And when you take damage, it'll reduce the damage by 15 for 2 turns. And this is
Yeah, I
like,
really enjoyed the battle you guys or the players had against the giant frog with the goblin
yeah,
astride it. Great. I
right.
loved it. And the art was really good as well.
Absolutely. I'm waiting on the actual cover art for this campaign and I'm so excited for it.
Nice.
So yeah, you get Wolfhide. Um you also you have like a wolf so you have medium armor, so you probably have like a little bit of chainmail and then a wolf emblem. I mean, you can kind of give me a visual of your character, but there's some wolf emblem somewhere noting you as one of these people. And so, I imagine you got killed in the fields maybe during like the early days of the Rye Empire before it collapsed, and over the switch, you kind of you felt very like vengeful that like you had to come back to life to protect your family. So Valray granted you this gift of coming back to life, and now you with the thing of like you have to honor him. So you join the local military, which were the Wolf Knights. You were in this region of the world, and
Yep.
now you are like just kind of working for them, protecting your family, and they live a lot better life now. Like now that you're in the Wolf Knights, you have a lot more money, and they live in the city instead of out in the fields. And they're much better off now that you're a Wolf Knight, and you're not even like you don't do much. You're a scout. You roam the fields and like kind of report like roam the outsides of the city and kind of report back to her, the queen. Or well, you used to report to the wolf general, but like I said, he's kind of betrayed them. So
Yeah, still an artifact.
right, so she gave you the task to watch off after these players to see like if they catch him, and you see things are getting out of hand, so you're gonna jump into the fray. Um, And so, yeah, I think that'll do it. I think you're set up and ready to join the campaign. Hopefully next week we'll get onto a good schedule of streaming again. And
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think we're about halfway through the campaign. There's like two major-ish arcs that are still going to be present here, and
Okay.
I'm excited to see where it goes. Ugh. Now with that all out of the way, we got a session 0. I would like to like kind of point out one of the big bonuses to Lore Wars is something like this where we've been streaming. Let me see here for how long we've been for 30 minutes we've been live, and so cut like 10 of that off for an intro and setting up, so maybe 20 minutes and we've created a character. And
Yeah,
you've
it's very much an expedited process to getting into an RPG. The world, the book, it's all very seamless.
right.
There's
I
a bunch of
So
the sword.
one of my friends recently joined a D&D campaign for the first time, and she said they they've all been like relevant in the game already. She just joined, and she said she went over there for a session and it took 4 hours for her to create a character. And it's like that's insane to me. Like I I get it could be fun and there's a lot of options and stuff, and so like for an experienced player that can definitely be fun to like make different models and stuff like that. But for somebody new into that genre, like that's very daunting to be like, all right, you're gonna come over for a 4 hour session and we're just gonna create a character, like, and
Fifth edition does have a very daunting amount of procedures.
right,
Lore Wars is like, again, I will say a much more expedited process to getting like the same high.
right,
You know what I mean?
right, yeah,
It's like a finer, more refined version of D&D, and also offers a lot of like a couple new dynamics that you would want, or maybe you haven't got to play with in other RPGs that I think
right,
other creators went out of your way to incorporate into the system, but also made it really quick. Like when we played our couple sessions, it was nice to see how fast combat flowed, and now with all these new abilities, I have a lot more to choose, and every character kind of seems like a wizard. Like
right.
in
Yeah, magic
like,
is very like universal in this game for sure. Now, I mean that being said, there are some races and classes in particular. Like I remember I died in a campaign my buddy was running. I want to say it was actually the Seal of Fate adventure book we were test playing, and which is available right now. I died as a character. I forget what I was playing, but I came back with a new character who was it was a pure being, weapons master, and so I just came back with a great hammer and a bunch of buffs to using like a two-handed weapon and a hammer, and I used like the Valray God of War buff and like just min-max the crap out of my character and go in and I hit for like a times 10 on a basic attack, and so I was doing like in the hundreds of damage, and so you can definitely go that route. But yeah, magic is very fluent throughout this universe. um but yeah, and it's a different universe. Now I do, some critique I have for myself that I've recently kind of dawned on is like I would like to add more role playing and slow like the combat to combat session down.
yeah,
um
ratio, man. The
right.
one third, one third. I
uh
still like that about D&D. One third world building, one third role playing, one third
Right.
encounter.
Well, I recently, it was actually over Thanksgiving, I was talking with my nephew who runs a D&D campaign, and I was talking to him about the difference between like Lore Wars and his D&D campaign, and he said, I added a lot of role playing to the campaign, and so, I think I'm gonna take that as a game master and kind of run with it and see if we can get a little more RP, especially like in the stream and stuff. So hopefully we can look out for that.
And so
Um,
I don't know about you, Doug, but some of my favorite podcasts that I listen to and their episodes where they're not fighting is the much more like fun
right, right.
heartedness, and how I get to know not only the players but the player characters as
Right.
well.
I mean, it's something as simple as like shopping, like mostly when I run like casual games, I'm just like, all right, you guys can go shopping for a day, just like look through the book and pick out what you want and tell me what you bought. Rather than like you watch like Drinks and Daggers or Greetings Adventures, they'll spend a whole episode, talking with a shopkeep and like having fun with that. was like,
Yeah,
I could take that and use it.
yeah, absolutely. And I think that makes your world more rich and your NPCs more like
For
well,
sure.
and I really like that about role playing games. And yeah, Lore Wars does offer you the ability to totally do that with all the skill checks that we have, and you can
Right. And
class
that's,
skills.
I've very much so that if you look at if you read the guidebook, it's set up where there's three types of encounters. There's an action encounter where you roll your actions and stuff. There's the combat encounter, and then there's the role playing encounter. And the role playing, I do, have people have short discussions, and it's kind of listed through the adventure books and stuff. But I'd like to, expand on that and do it a little more freely for sure.
Yeah, and that's GM discretion, and hopefully people have already taken your system and done that sort of thing with it.
Right. Now, with all that being said, mentioning Greetings Adventures, I'm going to talk about a little bit about updates before we wrap up here. Um, we so for GeeklyCon coming up, I think it's in July, um, June or July in Rochester, New York. We will be attending that. Hopefully all this COVID craziness blows over by then, but we'll be attending that, and not only attending, but I've talked to Michael tomorrow about being like a key sponsor to the event, where we'll have advertisements everywhere. We'll have a booth. We'll be on a panel. We'll run games, and do a big event. Make a big to do about that.
That's lovely, Doug. I will be home in my hometown of Rochester then.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you and your fiance
To
are
be
more
part.
than welcome to crash here and save the hotel bill.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
because
absolutely. I really
I
hang
live
out in the.
right in Batavia, so it's about a 40-minute drive into Rochester, and I'll definitely be doing that.
Yeah, we're gonna get a nice hotel for that one. I already got my tickets.
Nice. Yeah, oh
So
yeah, I have two premium tickets that I bought forever ago, so I will be there for sure, and hopefully will be a key sponsor. He gave me a tentative answer due to COVID. He's like, we don't know if we'll be able to do it, but I've already talked to him, and like if it happens, we will be a sponsor for the event, which is rad.
yeah,
Um, we are currently in three stores. We're in two in Michigan and one in Buffalo. I'm talking to a few more, but we just got another kind of zoning due to the governor. He's shutting some stuff down again, and with COVID, so it's hard. It's so hard to get into stores and like do really anything right now. But that's not keeping us down. We are still trying to do stuff. We actually just got our dice in the mail, our official dice from Bryce's Dice. And so that is on our website. I have a link to his page. We got some samples in and some pre-sales to some people, and we're gonna send those out pretty shortly here, and we're gonna send some samples to the stores that we're in, as well as some close friends that pre-ordered them, including yourself, Kurt.
yeah, I love a good dice.
Yeah, these ones are more collectors in my opinion. There's a few that are hard to read. They look rad, but they're more of a collecting item, in my opinion. There's some that are usable and good to read, but a lot of them, the colors are a little harder to read. Um, but
I bought some level up dice, obsidian raised dice, and
yeah,
I can only read them. They're like the darkest, most evil
right.
look.
My
Like
my
they
buddy
come.
turned me on to there's a cool company called Kraken. I think it's Kraken something or other. I'll have to look it up, but they make pretty rad dice that I was looking into.
I have some Die Hard dice, Dragon Scale, that I heard the Greetings Adventurers podcast. They said they're pretty heavily sponsored by Die Hard dice
Oh yeah, absolutely.
to break out and get a metal dice after my strong addiction to stone dice
Yeah,
waiver.
I have a set of Die Hard metal dice that I absolutely love. Their quality is through the roof.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very pleased with this.
But yeah, I mean, I'm still doing like small town sales too. Like I just had a girl purchase a guidebook package for, or I believe like her brother or boyfriend or something like that for Christmas. So we're still doing packages like that. And I saw that one of the local game stores is doing a sale right now through Christmas, where you can get like our stuff off like 10 or 20% off, which is pretty rad. All indie games they're doing. Yes, and with that, we I don't know if that I did a stream during this part, but we did a interview with that game store with Just Games, I think it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me look here. I want to say it was Just Games or Heart of the Game. That's what it is. Heart of the Game. I did a an interview on Twitch that went over really well. You can go watch that. It's on YouTube. I shared it everywhere I can. Um, but yeah, hopefully this is a good update to get back onto the streaming. Now that things have slowed down, I got a little more free time, and hopefully next week we will be back with in our universe, in our story. Thank you, Kurt, for joining me.
Thank you, Doug, for creating LoreWars and letting me be a part.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And we will see you shortly.
Awesome. Later, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to being with you again.
Hell yeah, have a good one.